go talk to Mike.
They'll make the bike handle. You do the whole thing, man?
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you can just wait for the pedals and pick up the whole thing as a package.
World, this is Mike. Mike, this is World. Hello. I've known Mike for a very long time, and he's done work. I don't really trust anybody to work on my bikes, but I trust Mike, and so I bring all my stuff here, including the new ICAN A9 frame. I have used ICAN wheels for a very long time, and I'm very comfortable with them. And this A9 frame they sent to me. So the questions that I put down is, first off, what bikes do you build? You guys sell here?
Oh, so we primarily build Specialized and Giant, our two main companies that we carry.
And I bought my Giant from here as well. And so you work on the high-end bikes
for the most part, yeah. So that anytime there's a custom build or something that needs to be diagnosed that's at a higher end level, I typically take on that responsibility.
And that's why I bring my bikes to Mike. Now, when I brought the A9 frame here, it's a little bit too big for me, and that's okay. Mike told me it's a 56, not a 54, which is what I would normally ride. And he had some concerns. The rails on the side, you said, were really thin, and you showed me that.
Yeah, so the overall frame itself, well, when you pull out the packaging, it looks amazing. Like, it's this nice, sleek aero road bike. But, you know, as you start to touch and feel and play with the frame itself, you can see how they've really thinned out that down tube and chain stays on the bike and stuff, and to the point where if you push on the frame hard enough, you get it to flex and bulge in, which sometimes can be a concern, more so for like a crash, for example. You go down and the bars whip around and hit that'll be damaged almost every time, just because it doesn't seem like there's any kind of a crush zone or impact type zone. And they've done that. The understanding behind that would be to thin out the frame as much as possible to get the weight down as much as possible, but it seemed like that might be to a detriment of a crash failure potential. So, which just seemed a little bit
at 40, and I've had it up at 45 miles an hour, and it was stiff. Even climbing at 25%, it was extremely stiff. I'm the one taking the risk on that. And then the other day, I brought it back in because the headset got loose. Was that just because it wasn't tight, or was that something that might be inherent in the bike?
No, that might be something inherent. So the way that their cable routing is on the bike, everything comes up and then into the head tube, up through your headset spacers, and then into the stem and through the handlebars. So what they've done is on that upper bearing, they've created a different type of head race that's only, it looks like a C, allowing the cables to then come through. And so that I believe got a little bit dislodged, because what's happening is the upper headset cap that you have to run the main wires through was so low, and it was rubbing on the frame. We had to put a spacer in between that to space out that that first headset spacer that finishes the look of the bike off, so that it wasn't rubbing on the frame or binding up on the thing. So I think that just from the initial ride, just everything jostled and settled loose, and we just had to retighten that. So.
And you had mentioned that you were having problems with the cable routing.
Yeah, it's just a little bit tricky the way that the front housing comes up through the fork and out the steer tube, which creates its own angle, and then you have to run the electrical wire up. In your case, because you're running Di2, it's one wire, which thank God it wasn't two more shifter cables, and then plus the other wire. So they all want to do their own thing, so you got to get them all kind of in and around so that everything's copacetic around the steer tube, up the little hole, and then get that, and then shove it all in through the bars, and then cut everything. So that it creates a little bit of a challenge. Otherwise, the nice thing is that if I pull the cranks out, I have pretty good finger access to get inside the frame to manipulate the wires and the junction boxes and all that stuff for the Di2 system. So that was nice. It's just that in that steer tube area where everything converges and then goes into that, and you got one guy's got to hold it while one guy feeds through and gets it all settled in and everything. So it just creates a little bit of a cluster all of that one junction. So,
and the other problem you mentioned, was the way the battery fits
with
in
the seat post. Yeah, so being such a large Aero seat post, they've created their own battery holder for the Di2 system. Awesome, great, fantastic. Most companies do that. The drawback with that is because the bike was a little bit too big for you and the seat post is really long, to get the seat where you need to go, I had to cut the seat post. Well, it's unfinished inside of there. So they only finished that just enough space for that the battery holder to fit in there. So I didn't realize that, so once I cut it, I had to go in and clear out material from the inside of the seat post, as well as remove some of the material off of their battery holder to get it to fit in there. And there's still a little bit sticking out there, but I was able to get the seat post down to where you needed it to get to. So that was a bit of a pain in the butt. It probably took the most time.
But you did it.
But I did it. I was able to do it, and it's all good. Copacetic, it's holding in there just fine and dandy.
And so there's a difference between a frame that you're going to spend $5,000 on and one that you would spend $1,000 on.
No, for sure, yeah. I mean, and again, the overall, I mean, I was very blown away with the end result. It looks very clean, very slick. You can't see any of the wires. I was able to hide the one junction box up inside underneath the stem really well. So unless you flip the bike upside down, you can't see a single wire or hose or whatever. So it's really cool. And the overall weight, I was blown away by it too. I mean, I just bought a $6,500 road bike that weighs exactly the same as the bike that we just put together for you. So at a fraction of the price.
Absolutely.
So it makes sense, and it's good to hear the feedback that you've given, because I know you ride just a ton up and down the mountains, and so when you get feedback about a road bike, I take that to heart, because you ride from your Cervelas to the Giants to the this to the that you've owned over the years. That I trust your feedback on how the bike handles and this and that, and then from that. So
now I will be riding this until I buy another bike, but I'll be riding this over and over. I really enjoyed riding it, and I want to say thank you to Mike for putting this together for me. It is a compliant bike. It's stable going downhill at 45 miles an hour. If it does break, well, I'm the one that's going down, and you won't see any more videos. Mike, thank you.
You're very welcome, John.
Thanks, Mike.
Yes, my pleasure. Yeah.
If you get a chance, you should come and support Mike in the shop here. It's an awesome shop.
Yeah, we here at Wheel World, man, we bust our butts for our customers, and it really shows with our our customer service reviews on Yelp and things like that, and loyalty is such as yourself. We've known each other from another shop that we worked out together many years ago.
A long time ago.
So a long time ago. So it's nice that those people have followed me wherever I've gone over the years, just for the knowledge and the environment that we create within the four walls that I'm in. So please, if you're ever in the area of Woodland Hills, Wheel World, stop by. We're on Ventura Boulevard. Woodland Hills, Wheel World, stop by. We're on Ventura Boulevard. Ventura Boulevard. Ventura Boulevard.
Hello.